I think politicians and policymakers still see the internet primarily as simply a clever form of communication. And let's face it, that is what the internet is, primarily a very clever, transformative form of communication. I don't think that they understand or think that much about the ways in which it might change relationships between decision makers and citizens, for example. I think that's partly because there is still a generation of politicians in power who didn't grow up with this stuff. But it's also because actually the kind of advice they're getting from other people is not simple. There was this period when everybody said that the internet would transform political engagement, and then we became rather cynical about that. And then with Obama, we thought, no, hang on, this is an amazing new way of communication. But then it turned out that it was an amazing way of communication when people wanted to be mobilized. It was a good route. But actually, if people don't want to be mobilized, if they don't want to engage, it doesn't look as though the technology does anything about that. So if there is a need, if there is a desire, the technology can facilitate that, but it doesn't seem to be able to generate something that's not there in the first place.
And when you think about that transformative potential, what are the positives, firstly, that you see in practice? What are the positives you see around it, apart from your son being able to go on MSN that's probably a negative, but what are the positives that young people or anybody using the internet may get out of it that they might not have done in the past?
I don't think we should downplay, because it is that we're interested in the way in which the internet changes relationships. Don't think we should downplay the fact that it is amazing as a tool for communication and a tool for the collection of information. And the fact that people can find out whatever they want to find out when they want to find it out, and if they're reasonably sophisticated, what they'll find out will be accurate. That's an amazing thing, and that they can get content whenever they want it. That too is amazing. I think one of the things that is exciting already about the way the internet changes things is the way in which it breaks down the categories between producers and consumers, and allows many more people to be consumers, to be producers, and to produce for very small audiences, for very niche audiences. And I watch my own children, the way in which that boundary is blurred for them, and I think that's incredibly exciting. When I was young, I was a media consumer. There was, unless I was going to spend a huge amount of time and unless I had a lot of luck and access to lots of equipment, I couldn't be a producer. So making it possible for people to generate their own content in their own way for their own groups of friends, I think that is a fantastic thing. That is the kind of lean forward aspect of the internet, and I don't think that should be underestimated.